Resist banana.
Well,
anyone who knows my husband on Facebook knows that this makes Forlano sense.
it makes for a lot of sense. Exactly.
It's his design. Isn't it funny?
You can take it a lot of ways, Debriana. Let's just say that.
I know. That's probably was his point, although I won't speak for him. Oh, how are you?
I'm good. I made myself take the DVD class of the New York City Ballet and my way through it, almost dying. I feel better for just moving. And then I made some polenta.
Yay.
I got a surprise from an Easter elf today. And what else? Just working. I mean, I worked all morning just working on the show I'm making virtual.
Yeah. I did it's a 20-minute elliptical workout, but it's all like what do they call those fartleks? I don't know what the hell they're called. But you go fast and then you go slow and fast and slow. So I did that for 20 minutes and it's an intense workout. So
I wish I had a machine of some sort. Those were what the gym was for.
I know. I feel very lucky we have that elliptical right now because our gym just closed. I'm heartbroken that this could not have been saved. And it's a small business, but we've been going to her gym, Dynamic Fitness, for, I don't know, 5 or 6 years at least. And I'm heartbroken. I'm going to miss my friends there. And here we go with losing businesses, I think, is what we're going to start seeing now.
Oh, that is so depressing.
It is. It's very depressing. And so I was making masks today, and while I was sewing, a playwright friend of mine who I met at the Last Frontier Theater Conference in Alaska, which is, of course, canceled now, she contacted me because she has a sewing group in LA that's making masks, and she had some fabric she was going to send to me. And I'm like, oh, good. Then now I can stop cutting up my clothes. Because that's,
I have so much fabric. I'll give you some fabric. I have fabric. Yeah.
It was just funny. It was nice to hear from her, though, and hear how people are doing. And I know that some creative, she's a brilliant writer, a brilliant playwright. And, people are having a hard time writing, I think, right now. It's hard.
It is hard. The only thing I think one wants to do is maybe document in a diary what's going on. It's really kind of, and please don't do this if you already have those at home. Don't look up former plagues on Google. Just don't do it.
We're having our own. We just do our own. This is our own.
I got lost down that rabbit hole late at night last night.
No, don't do it. And nothing's going to compare to it because, first of all, we have the internet, and medicine's better, and we have a much tighter globe. But what's interesting to me, though, after we talked earlier today about you seeing that falcon, and I heard Deepak Chopra talking about wildlife changing its patterns.
You can really feel it. There are more birds in my yard and in the park around the corner than I've ever seen.
Yeah. They're starting to feel the change in the humanity that we've been overriding the planet. And now it's been long enough for them to go, oh, things are changing. This is weird. And so their actual flight patterns and stuff are starting to change.
You can really feel it. I mean, I saw a baby falcon the other day and a huge bird of prey that flew over my house. I've never seen that. Not in not in town. Never.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so interesting.
It is.
Things are changing. They are. And I'm going to make Harissa chicken tonight.
Woo! You're making the thighs. We got some comments.
I got the thighs going on. This is from my Moink box selection. So
they're still going, seems like.
Yeah. Grassroots.
Yum.
supporting family farms. That's what we're doing.
Yay.
By having a Moink box. So I'm very grateful that, you know, they're having their own issues because so many people are now, you know, ordering these kinds of things online to have their food delivered. And so they're running out of some stuff, you know, like chicken. But I think chicken's a problem everywhere.
Chicken. Okay, let's just talk about it while you're making the chicken. Briefly, the last, wasn't it H1N1? That came from a bad pig factory farm. The factory farm scenario is horrendous. It must be changed. If people really cared, they would change that situation, because then we would be less likely to even get these diseases. And I think that that's the whole problem.
Well, nobody should be eating bats. Come on.
Disconnect with animals and humans. We think, oh, but we're just part of the food chain. Like everything is connected. Why is that so hard for people to understand?
Well, I'm hoping that this, what we're going through now, this pandemic, is going to put people back, you know, in touch with the roots of who we are. That's what I'm hoping is going to be something that's going to come out of it.
I really hope so. I hope it's a wake up, and a serious wake up. And I fear that it won't be. That's my greatest fear, honestly.
Yeah. I'm not going down there. I'm going to stay on the positive side. And so what I just did there was open up that chicken and dry it off. So it's not, you know, it's really wet. So now I'm going to.
I have to admit, I like thighs better than breasts.
Oh, I like all of the chicken for sure. And there are times that I really like breasts and times that I really like thighs. These are bone in and they have the skin on.
Yum.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm just going to rinse my hands.
Good. Go do the chicken rinse.
Yeah, I'm doing the chicken rinse because I have to put my hands in the salt. So I'm going to season those up. And then I'm going to crisp them on both sides. Now, I'm using tonight a jarred harissa, which I think my friend Emily would go, why didn't you make your own? Because I want everyone to be able to, you know, do this recipe. And you can get jarred harissa at Trader Joe's.
Well, can you please explain for the folks at home that don't know, what is harissa?
It's a Tunisian, like a hot pepper. It's kind of a sauce. I guess you'd call it a sauce.
It's delicious. Well, it's a paste, I think.
Yeah.
You can make it into a yummy sauce, depending on what you add.
Yeah.
It's delicious. It's delicious.
Yeah, it's really good. It's not, the thing I like about it is it's not, the pepper is not without flavor. It's not just hot.
Right.
It has a lot of flavor to it.
When you make your own, what do you put in it?
I have no idea. I've never made my own.
Oh.
But Emily, we should have Emily on the show and she can show us. She's given me her harissa, so I've never had to make my own.
Well, there you go.
So we'll just have Emily on. She can show us all how to do it.
There it is.
Emily is a great chef. Emily Swatner, if you don't follow her on Facebook, she's a great chef and a wonderful artist, and she makes gorgeous pottery to cook with. So
we could put it up on the banner. Put it up
on the banner. I'm going to put a little oil in my pan and wait for that to get hot, and then I'll put Emily on the banner. Because I'm technically savvy that way.
Well, see, the talent does all the Chiron work on the show.
Yeah, I have no assistant, so she's there. I'll just put her up for a second. There, that's her, Emily Swatner.
Look her up. She's an artist and she makes things for the kitchen.
She makes beautiful pottery, but she has a, what is it? How do you know how you say it? Mercacious? I don't know. It's beautiful clay pottery that you can cook with.
I love that.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. So I'm just heating up my beautiful green pan so that it gets hot, 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 hot. And then I'm going to brown the chicken on both sides. And while that's browning, I'll get the other stuff ready.
Okay.
And then we can keep talking. Here, I'm going to take her off now.
Have you been making this for a long time? You like this too?
I've made it several times. I got this recipe from the New York Times, and because we're doing what we're doing and it's Corona Kitchen, this is not exactly the way they have it. And they call it Harissa chicken with shallots. I don't have any shallots.
I don't got no shallots.
No shallots. So we're going to use onions, and I don't have any lime. So we're going to use an orange because Tunisian people use oranges. I've decided.
That's your rationale. That's okay.
Yeah, and I don't have shallots, so I'm using a red onion because that's what I have. And what else don't I have? Oh, I don't have cilantro, but I do have beautiful parsley from my garden.
So sometimes the best recipes come about of you just taking what you have. You know what I mean? Yeah. Someone saying on the feed there appears to be a shallot shortage. So true. I have not been able to find any.
Oh, really?
No.
Well, I decided to make this recipe, and I didn't have it, and I did my once a week going to the grocery store thing already, and I wasn't going to go out and try and find them. I'm glad I didn't bother.
Isn't it weird how you can't just run to the store when you want to?
Yes. All right, so I'm saving my onion ends for the freezer, as you know. And I'm going to chop my onions up while those are browning. Now, the thing about browning, I don't know about you, but I know people can get very impatient and they start wanting to turn and look at the bottom and see if they're browning. Don't touch them. Don't move that.
ADHD browning by Debriana.
I know. Just leave them in the pan.
It's true.
They have to go for about 5 minutes on each side. So if you need to set a timer so you don't touch them, then do that. But in the meantime, I'm going to do an onion. I know it's probably more onion than you would actually call for because it's only like a couple shallots, but too bad. I like onion.
Too bad.
Too bad. And I'm doing a couple of cloves of garlic. So I'm going to get those ready with my famous garlic smasher,
which I covet.
My friend who gave me that was actually, we were very good friends. He was my lawyer first. That's how we met. And we became very good friends. And he showed me my very secret spot that we go to. We were hiking all the time after I got divorced. And we would go up to the mountains to this beautiful spot. He grew up in New Mexico. So he showed me the very secret spots up in the Jemez that you can only get to on logging trails and stuff.
Nice.
And we would tell stories because we'd be gone for hours doing that. And then I met David. So I kept talking about David, and he said, you have to bring him up here when he comes because David was from Philadelphia, because he has to fall in love with New Mexico. You can't leave.
Right.
I don't want to leave either. So I brought David up to my favorite spot when he came to visit, and I made babka, and we brought champagne, and we made mimosas. It was so fun.
A little picnic hike.
We did, and he fell in love with New Mexico, so I didn't have to leave.
And then fell in love with you. P.S. Fell in love with you. And New Mexico.
Oh, look! See how beautiful brown that is.
See what patience renders. Okay.
Yeah. Now I'm going to turn them over. You're not trying to cook them through right now. You're just trying to get crispy all around the edges. So when we got married, we made my friend David get his minister license, and he's the one who married us.
Oh, you're kidding. Oh, that's so great.
Yeah. So he's the one who made me that mushroom.
Well, you're making me think about Jemez and how much I love it there. And I'd love to go on a hot spring hike and see those cliffs. It's such a beautiful place.
Oh, it's just my favorite place on earth. That's where I want to be scattered when I die, everyone.
Are you serious?
Yes, I am. It's my favorite place on earth.
It is so beautiful there. It's that red earth, the iron in the soil. It's red.
Yep, and we've seen herds of elk up there, and oh, it's just so beautiful. So I'm chopping up, giving a rough chop to my parsley, which I'm going to add at the end, which should be cilantro, but it isn't. Oh well. And I'm going to take that chicken out of this pan. Where will I put it? In this.
It's probably a good idea that you're doing it with parsley because a lot of people have a love-hate with cilantro. I don't. I
know it.
But a lot of people don't like it, and I don't understand why.
I don't either. I like it. Well, I think for some people, like my friend Allie said, it tastes like soap in her mouth.
Okay.
I'm like, well, okay. I don't like that taste, so never mind. Okay, beautiful brown on both sides.
Gorgeous.
And I'm going to take them out of here. And now I'm going to see if there's enough. Yeah, there might be a little bit too much fat in there. I'm going to take a little bit out. That chicken rendered some nice fat. And I'm just going to pour a little bit off so it's not too much. And then I'm going to add the onions and soften them up. And the garlic. This pan's pretty good and hot. I love this green pan. It gets so hot.
It's such a great pan. It was life-changing.
I know. And I know people get afraid of heat, but you're not going to get that nice crisp skin unless your pan is hot enough.
Yep.
So I'm going to do these onions, loosen them up a little bit. Oh, they're so pretty. I'm glad I had a red onion anyway, even if it wasn't a shallot.
I love red onions in any form except raw. I can't.
Yeah, no, I don't eat them raw.
Raw's rough.
I don't do raw onions.
Yeah.
Although some people say if you soak them in milk first,
really,
that's supposed to take that like bitterness out of them. But I still won't eat them raw.
Yeah. Sometimes over onion salads in restaurants, and I'm just like, ugh.
Yeah, I always take them off.
Yeah, me too.
All right, so these are looking very lovely and starting to get brown. So now I'm going to add my garlic. And let that cook up a little bit. And I did not use any chicken stock from my freezer because I have it all in big bags right now. So I used my favorite thing in my kitchen. That's my savior, which is that
your bouillon.
Better than bouillon. And I made some chicken stock in my cup. And I'm going to use that in just a bit. We're going to braise the chicken. Now, I'm going to serve this on cauliflower, what I call cauliflower mashed potatoes. So I'm just going to puree up the cauliflower.
That just sounds so good right now.
But you could put it on polenta. If I was at your house, I'd put it on your polenta.
I know. I made my polenta again with my frozen pesto. I'm going to make artichokes tonight.
I love artichokes.
Me too. I got the last ones. There were 4. I got them. They were the last ones.
I wish I could figure out how to grow them, but I think they take a lot of water.
It's a hard one, and I think it takes a long time too because the flower turn into the big
thistle.
Yeah, it's a thistle.
Yeah, it's a big thistle. Okay, so the onions are soft enough because they're going to cook in this sauce for a little bit. You know, it probably about 15 minutes with the chicken.
Okay.
So they don't have to be totally cooked all the way through.
Okay.
I mean, they're browning a little bit and they're soft. So there you go.
They look gorgeous.
Thank you. Now I'm going to add about 3 tablespoons of harissa, and I'm pulling a Lisa right now. I don't actually have a tablespoon.
I'm rubbing off on you.
And then I'm going to put about, I don't know, 3/4 of a teaspoon of cinnamon in there. Oh, here comes the cam. All right, thank you. I have an assistant.
Food cam.
Yeah, there. Thank you.
Oh, that looks good.
Yeah, it's gonna be
good. I put cinnamon on carrots sometimes.
Yeah, it's good on carrots.
Really good on veggies and different things.
All right. Now I'm going to add back my chicken. I'm going to nestle it in these onions.
It's an onion nest.
It's an onion nest. And then I'm going to pour in my chicken stock. And you want it to come up about halfway.
Oh, I bet that just smells so good in your kitchen.
Oh, yeah. It smells good, honey. I need a little bit more water. This pan's bigger than I thought. You kind of want it to go up about halfway and then turn it down a little bit. And they're going to braise in there, but I think I need to cover it a little bit with
braise or brazen.
My brazen. I'm brazen. You're brazen. My thighs are brazen.
Your thighs are brazen.
Yeah, I'm gonna add a little bit of water. That chicken stock was strong enough. I can add a little more water. If I needed a little more, I might add white wine, but I don't have any open, so I'm just gonna add a little water. All right, now I'm gonna cover her. Not tightly. I just want to leave it, so there's steam escapes a little bit.
Steam can come
let that simmer for about 15 minutes.
Well, that's going to be good.
And then I'll throw this parsley on. And also I'm going to zest some of this orange and squeeze about 1/2 of an orange on there.
Yeah.
Because I don't have a lime.
That sounds better than a lime in some ways.
Don't you think?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Mediterranean tomato sauces, sometimes they definitely put oranges in there. So I'm going to add my zest right now, though.
Are you going to make the cauliflower thing now or later?
It's already in the oven.
Oh, you already have it. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it's cooking in there, baking, and then there, that looks good.
That looks so good.
Aren't they pretty, those little chicken thighs? See? Bring your thighs to me, people.
Beautiful.
And then I'm going to juice this orange, I think, in it. Because this juicer is awesome.
It is awesome. We use it every day. So do we have some announcements?
Yes.
Tomorrow, Easter Sunday, is the photo contest winner, and boy, do we have a lot of entries.
Yes, we do. There were a lot. The photos were much better this week.
They were better. They were more artistic, I noticed. People were really trying. We appreciate that.
Thank you.
And, I want to say this too. It doesn't matter the way that we choose the runner-ups and everything. It's not about the complexity of the meal. It's really the photograph and how it makes us feel.
Beauty and taking into account the plate that it's on or the way things are arranged. Yeah, all of that's something we look at.
Yeah.
When we're looking at the photo. Yeah. Usually they evoke some kind of like, oh, I want to touch those. Or,
or eat it or something. Yeah, exactly. So we're just giving you some tips, and then we made it to 1,600 numbers.
Oh, yay! Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, everybody.
That's awesome.
I know.
Amazing. It's just really amazing. This is an amazing time, all the way to the bad and all the way to the good. I mean, it's an incredible time we're living in.
It is, and I'm grateful that we did this, and it seems like it's helping everybody else too.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I know that some of my writer friends are having a hard time writing, and I definitely understand that because I am too. And this helps me feel like I'm doing something to help myself because this is a creative space, and it's also something that helps other people. So you feel like you're useful during a time when it's so easy to feel isolated and not useful. And I'm really grateful.
I just want to remind people you're not alone, and
Nope.
we're here. We're here every day.
I'm here every day cooking.
And we hear you. We hear you. And sometimes, it gets hard. Today was a little bit of a hard day for me. I had a loss of a friend yesterday, a dear friend of the family, and still kind of, I'm going to be sad forever about that.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to just, be there for her and her soul.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
I know.
Yeah, it's that time. It is that time.
Yeah.
Well, we love everybody out there, and we hope you're all safe, and that this helps you pick up your spirits a little.
Yes, and that looks delish. You're going to have an amazing dinner. And tomorrow is Sunday, and I'm making some lemon raspberry scones. I threatened to make scones, and I'm going to do it.
Yay! Here we go. Lemon raspberry works for me.
Okay.
Well, thanks, everyone, and have a wonderful, what is this, Saturday? What do they call this? Holy Saturday?
It's Passover. I think it's the last night of Passover for Passover. And then I think it's Good Friday, Holy Saturday, Easter Sunday, I think.
Wow. You know what? This is the first time, I think, since I've lived here that we haven't thought about going at some point to Chimayo and do that walk, even if we went down to see the people, or I've gone at night, just to see. There was always something going on down there all through the holiday weekend. And
I know.
Wow.
Let's tell people what it is. For people who don't know, there's this little town called Chimayo, where the Chimayo red chili comes from.
That's where our chili comes from.
They have this beautiful, beautiful sanctuario where miracles happen, and they have this amazing restaurant out there, and it's just a beautiful little country village. It's a gorgeous drive. You get there, it's a very holy place.
It's nestled in the mountains, at the base of the mountains. It's beautiful.
And people do pilgrimage from Santa Fe and beyond. They walk, and they do it on Friday, Christmas time too. And they do the walks, and people carry crosses, and they do this whole thing. And it's really a beautiful pilgrimage thing. I
think it's the biggest one in the United States for sure. Biggest pilgrimage.
It's usually hundreds of people.
Yep, hundreds. You see people walking, and there's big signs everywhere to guide the walkers. And people go out there, and they give food and water to the walkers, and it's an amazing thing that happens here. And it's not happening. It's amazing that it's not happening.
I know. And it'll be weird not to have Easter tomorrow, but I'm going to do virtual Easter with some people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'll see you tomorrow, and we'll see everybody tomorrow who wants to make scones.
We'll see you. It's going to be a brunch hour thing, so we'll see you for Easter brunch.
Yay! Well, have a good rest of your night. I will post pictures of my harissa chicken.
I can't wait.
Okay.
Good to see it. Okay. Take care.
Manja.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.